Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you with a Pokemon sales data video. There's not too much to go over here today, so I just want to go over a theory that why some gym trainers in the games are using the Pokemon that they use, and why they aren't using some Pokemon that we know they have. Now, my theory for this is okay. You look at Blaine's Charizard, first, from the TCG. Erica's Venusaur and all that, but Blaine doesn't have a Charizard in the games. Erica doesn't have a Venusaur in the games. I think she has an Ivysaur in one of them. Why is that? Because you see Ace trainers and other random trainers, Cool Trainer Nikki and Cool Trainer like whoever, have Ivysaur, Charmeleon, all that. Why not these guys? So the theory goes is that Brock, who has like a Geodude and an Onix, right? And we know he's got a bunch of Gravelers, got a bunch of Geodude. I think he only has one Onix though. In the Pokemon Adventures series, the one that came out a few years ago with like the actual anime one, it was really cool. It was only like 8 episodes though. Um, Brock asks like how many badges he has. Like, oh, is he going for my first badge? So that's when Brock decides I'm going to use these Pokemon on you. So my theory is that all of these gym leaders have all the Pokemon that they have for a first gym battle for someone, or if they're going for their 8th badge, or if you follow that Gary Oak timeline where he's got 10 badges. I don't know how that's possible, but or maybe he went through Saffron City again after you'd cleared out the Rocket Hideout and you beat Sabrina and all that, and you have that one gym that was next to Sabrina's that became a gym as well. And maybe they split off into 2 different gyms, like if you saw that Pokemon episode. So maybe that's how he got 10 minutes. I don't know. But moving on from that, if we go by that, build on that premise, you see that, okay, that's how Erica can have a Venusaur, but you don't see it because you only have 3 badges when you go to her. Same thing with Blaine. Blaine still uses a pseudo-legendary, in my point of view, Arcanine, and he uses Magmar and he uses Ninetales. It makes sense that he would have a Charizard. Someone that is 50-something years old, been at this for decades, would have a starter Pokemon that is everywhere. That, again, just cool trainers have, random ones have, and he's a gym leader. It makes sense that he would have that. So that's my theory on that. Moving on, Neo Genesis. Lugia First Edition PSA 7. It's over $2,175. This is an uptick from the like $1,500 it sold for the other day. Speaking of ticks, we have a Lugia First Edition PSA 6, which sold for $1,500 the other day, down to $1,225. Or I'm sorry, I sold mine for $1,510. This is down to $1,225. We have a new pwcc auction. Lugia, I don't believe, is making an appearance in this one. We do have a First Edition PSA 10 Charizard, though. It's actually a buddy of mine's. His entire PSA 10 set is going on this auction. So this is easily $500,000 for him. Probably more closer to... Probably sell for maybe $625, maybe $650 after all the fees and everything. Probably get $550, $575. But the last Charizard that sold for $295,000, where a few weeks prior to that, one was selling for $200,000. Like, that's insane. And this one sold for $295,000. So will this one break the 300 mark? I don't know. I looked at it. It's a very clean Charizard. That is something that will, again, that starts tonight. It ends on the 10th or the 12th. It ends on a weekend, though. This last PWCC auction ended on a weekday. So maybe that is the reason for some of these prices that could have been higher. And that Venusaur that ended at like $21,000. There was one person that I knew, I forget the user's name, that bid on it, and another user that we're following each other on Instagram called the Pokejew. They both bid $24,000 and $25,000 for that card, but because one of them, it was their first time bidding, and the other, it just didn't go through for whatever reason, it only sold for $21,000. So you have 2 people that are willing to pay $24,000, $25,000 for it. Absolutely pissed that they couldn't. And these are the issues that we see with PWCC, where you have a Charizard PSA 10 and a Venusaur PSA 10, and they end 4 seconds after each other. Even if they're not like that, even if there's, because Charizard is a higher ticket item at $300,000, if you have $100,000 and you want to get a Blastoise PSA 10 and a Charizard PSA 10, I'm sorry, let's go with $80,000. We want to get a Blastoise PSA 10 and a Venusaur PSA 10, and they end 4 seconds away from each other. If you buy and win both, you have to pay for both. You don't have enough for it. but you don't know whether to bid on the Venusaur or not because you don't know if you're going to win the Blastoise or not. You don't know if you're going to win until that auction ends. You don't have the time to back out of it, and with 4 seconds left to bid on the Venusaur. So I think pwcc needs to change that to be able to. That would result in higher prices. It works out for them. Now, I understand it. They don't have the time to do it. They have I don't know how many thousands of cards that are on there ending at the same time, and they can't spread it out they're already spreading it out over X amount of hours, but maybe do that with some of the lower cards that are only worth a couple $100s, and the bigger ticket 5-6 figure items, make them spread out a little bit more, especially Pokemon base, especially this historic set. All I'm saying. Gym Challenge, we had a Blaine's Charizard. It was a BGS 9.5, and whoever got this got a steal. 9 for the centering, 9.5 for the edges and corners, and 10 for the surface. For me, I do not mind if the centering is off. As long as the surface is good, there's no scratches, and the edges and the corners are fine. Like, surface is most important to me, and I got a 10. So this whole thing, BGS 9.5, sold for $28.50. That is absurdly low, in my opinion, where we have seen people spend $4,500 on a PSA 9. So that this got $28.50, far, far too low. Whoever got that got it for a steal. Blaine's Charizard first edition PSA 9 sold for $2,225. Yeah, just that more evidence that PSA BGS 9.5 is absurdly low. Fossil, we have a Gengar first edition PSA 9 sold for $460. A Muck first edition PSA 9 sold for $125. So moving on to base set. Base set is something that see you later, Al. Base set is something that we, again, I've just talked about, but we have a Charizard first edition PSA 8 the other day, sold for $28,000. I just didn't mention it the other day. I didn't find out about it until today. And we had someone did the math on the Reddit, did the math, all of the non-holos first edition PSA 10, so 17 through 102, including both of the Pikachus, sold for a combined total of $58,000. It was a little disappointing, but that's just what they sold for. And an unlimited Charizard sold today, PSA 10, sold for $10,200. How the mighty hath dipped. My God. Outside of the PSA 10 that's on the pwcc auction starting tonight, we do have a BGS 9.5, and we do have a PSA 9, PSA 8, but there's only one Gem Mint Charizard. How will... A lot of people are saying, okay, you have a couple weeks before Christmas that this is ending. People are really trying to, take an extra couple $100s and buy Christmas presents, and they don't need to be spending a couple hundred, even a couple $1,000s on Pokemon cards. Correct. But this is not I shouldn't because, Christmas present item. This is I have $300,000 to not throw away. Again, it's an investment. I would love to get this card. This is an item where you have this capital to throw around. You're not worried about the $100 that you have to get your cousin Sally because she babysitted you when you were a kid or whatever. No, this is the type of FU money that people have. Like, maybe this would affect some lower end cards, not even lower end cards. Let's say like a Charizard, a Blaine's Charizard, first edition PSA 9. Maybe they don't get that this time because it would be $2,500, and instead of that, they say, okay, no, I should use that for Christmas presents because that's most of my expendable income for the month. I'm going to wait for that. Okay, fair point. Something that's in the low 4 figures, fine. But the mid 6 figures, absolutely not. Anyone who's going to buy this card is going to want to buy this card, and they're not going to give a damn about who they buy and don't buy Christmas presents for. Just my opinion. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you to all my... Actually, now, I don't know if these Patreon... Yeah, I was doing my Tesla video before, so I had to do my... Where did it go? I don't know if the... shout out to all my Patreon members. A few of you, though, are there because of the controversial video I did last night. Not because of Pokemon, but I welcome all Patreon subscribers. Ask me anything. Ask me to do crazy videos or not so crazy videos. Whatever you want. I love you all. Bye, guys.